What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, it's a bit of a different video than usual. Today is kind of a tutorial video on how to get like a Leo P kind of squeaky sound, the kind of overtone glissando thing everyone keeps talking about. I've gotten a few questions from me or from just people asking about my videos in general, how I can make that kind of sound and sound somewhat like his. And I've looked up on YouTube. I've seen that people have kind of shown you how to do it, and I think what it is it's just you need to develop your overtones. And I'm not saying like a lot of people say like you need to absolutely master the overtone series. You need to become one with the overtone. You need to be able to not even play notes and be able to play full songs. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you need to play all 12 scales on a low B flat. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you just need to work on the overtones so that you can build up your embouchure and you can be able to adjust very easily to being able to play those notes. A lot of the techniques require you to do that, and I learned overtones fairly quickly. I'm not a great saxophone player, and I was able to get it pretty quickly, so I figure most people can get it as long as they don't make it as technical as it needs to be. So there are a few techniques Leo P uses. One is an overtone glissando that he uses usually on the low A. He does this a lot in performances and whatnot, and it's just a very common thing that's come to be known as the Leo P overtone glissando. And that basically is done. This isn't the best read for this, but basically you take this, and as you kind of push it back as you're doing it. You gotta roll it back so that it goes up and down the overtones. So like that's. I mean, if I do it forward, you can kind of see it's tensing up and it's going up and down. And you can actually manipulate it to go up and down and be able to get like a different kind of sound with that. And so once you've kind of developed that kind of sound, you may know that there are some other ones he does. He does a, sometimes, I'm not sure what it's called. It might still be called an overtone glissando, but he basically, for some of his songs, he just does like a little portamento sound that goes up and down to kind of lead into a main melody or something. He goes, like he does something like that. And basically how I kind of figured out how to do that is fairly similar to that, fairly similar to the rolling of it. But what you want to get is a nice, it's not really an overtone, but it's on your E. I would probably low E. You want to do get that kind of thing. And how you get that kind of thing is basically what I did is for some of his songs he will do a jump up to a high D and then down to his F, so it goes he will do that. Basically how I do that is I play a C, and then my neck strap came off. I play a C and I kind of overblow it. Not really overblow, but I get it to come out in no sense of it's. I can manipulate it enough to get a higher note, and I don't know if it's altissimo fingering, but I do know, I'm fairly certain that's what Leo P does. So you go, this is C. Transitioning between it I can't really do, but being able to just get it out is the first step on how you get to that next overtone portamento, I suppose. Overtone slide glissando is probably what's best described as on that E. So once you can get that, then you can go up. What he tends to do, I've seen, is he tends to do like a little shrill. He goes da 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 da, just that kind of thing. And I don't know if he just does that for the trill sound, but since he's obviously got a decent embouchure to be able to get some of these overtones out. He does. What I would assume he does that is for just to get that trill. But what I do it for is I get it so I can kind of go up and down. It gives me more room, more dynamic range. It's like when you play an altissimo note and you can kind of slide to the next note or to a lower note. It's easier once you just open up more holes. Like once there's more holes to be able to let out sound, you can go higher and higher. So I tend to do that, and I tend to go as high as I can until I reach the note I'm trying to hit. And then once I reach that, then it's good. And sometimes it does vary on the reeds and mouthpieces, but overall, it's kind of just what you're looking for. And lastly, it's kind of like a Leo P kind of squeak thing. He does this thing. He does that kind of thing. I'm not sure really what it's called either. I mean, like, I know some of the overtone glissando things are just on every note, but that's really not an overtone glissando. That's kind of just altissimo note. It just goes. It's not one of those things. It's not any of the actual notes. And this was actually a better sax tutorial, but I have found if you just play a G with the low A, you can get that sound. And sometimes it doesn't work. Like, it took me a while to get, but once you get that, then you can work on the articulation on it, because he tends to do that very fast. You know. I'm not sure if that is an altissimo fingering either, but that's basically what you want to do with that. Also, a lot of people have said like the mouthpiece obviously has something to do with it, and I'm sure it does. Leo P, for some of his stuff, he plays on a Theowani Durga 3, I think. This is just I think it's a regular old stock mouthpiece. I'm getting a better one soon. But at the moment, or at least for this one, like I have a better mouthpiece in my case, but at the moment I'm using this one. And this one it's not a great mouthpiece, but it just goes to show you don't really need like amazing equipment to be able to get a good sound out. You don't need outstanding gear to get a certain sound. Like sure it'll help. Like sure, if I had a Theowani mouthpiece, I'm sure I could probably get them out as well. But you don't need stuff like that. You just need to develop your sound. Like initially, like obviously, I do have the same Barry sax as Leo P, but that's just by coincidence. I just like the YBS 52 because it's got really nice build, and I like the low A part of it. I like the kind of built they have for that rather than being like a curved octave key. So I like that. That's kind of why I like to stick with the YBS 52. But yeah, that's kind of all I'm saying for this tutorial. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. And yeah, if you like and subscribe, maybe you'll be able to get that sound out. Be able to annoy your neighbors. It's actually really early, so I'm probably gonna get in trouble. But at least I'll get YouTube views.